So for here, we're gonna find the inverse derivative. Um, but first of all, we need to teach you. So let's start with the top again. So let me wait. Hold on a second. Find inverse. But so this is a one thing I want to tell people is when you see this notation, please do not says f negative 1 power x. If you do that, your brain will trigger into a different idea because you would think that's a reciprocal functions, but it's not a reciprocal because this is algebra 1. Everybody make mistake is they thought this is fact, but it's not true. This is false. Okay, please do not do that. So that in order to prevent that, you have to call it is f inverse of x. Inverse of x. So that's how you avoid the misunderstanding. This is not good. This is no good. Okay, please do not do that. Call it f inverse of x. Now, I'm gonna start with f of x is equal to 2x plus 4, and let's just say let's find inverse of x. Just like Devin says, y equal to 2x plus 4. Got it? And x equal to 2y plus 4. And then 2y equal to x minus 4. And then y equal to x over 2 minus 2. Is that okay? And then we're going to call the f inverse of x is equal to x over 2 minus 2. And not just a very easy understanding, but I want to use a very easy example to describe something hard because easy example is much easier to see. I'm going to go ahead and graph this. Okay, and the original function, we're going to call it, we're going to use this, we're going to circle it, we're going to say this is red. So original function is going to be blue, which is 4. And has slope like this, right? Is that okay? And I just learned how to graph algebra 1 function. Yay. I'm going to do one more dot. Now, what happened to -2? This one just, it has slope of 1/2. So I'm going to use the red things. So it's going to be like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, and like this. And it's like this. Now, what you learn in Shapraro's class are a couple things. One is there is a reflection line. Do you see there's a reflection line? Okay, there is a reflection line that's going to be like this. This is a reflection line. This is y equal to x. Where's Julia here? Oh, you just said in different thing. Okay. Y equal to x. And y equal to x is that line here. They have a mirror image. And this is a very, very important idea. So I'm going to write it down. Inverse function has a couple things that you need to know. So inverse functions, first, f of x and f inverse of x has reflections at y equal to x. So they have reflection. They are just like a mirror. They are mirror to each other.
I can see it, sir.
What?
I can see it.
Sure. F of x and f inverse of x has a reflection at y equal to x. Then you say, okay. With that being said, you say, okay, well, that's pretty cool. They just have reflections. Second things I will say is this. Very, very important. So you need to use the second thing here today, which is I call it coordinate swap. What do they have a coordinate swap? Let's pick this value, right? Is 2 comma negative 1. And if you pay attention, there is a negative 1 comma 2. Do you see that x and y swap? Very, very important. Even here is, let's just say this is negative 3 comma negative 2. And the red point is going to give you a negative 2, negative 3. It happened to every single point on the graph. And that's why they are inverse. And you guys already knew that. You're like, why are you teaching me this? But let's pay attention to the slope, though. Because we never study the slope. That's the calculus. But you need to know the idea of coordinate swap. And you need to know the slope. Because what we care about is derivative, which is the slope. So, what's the relationship, the slope between the red line and the blue line? Deborah, what'd you say?
Like they're reciprocals?
They're reciprocal, but not negative reciprocal. What is negative reciprocal? It's on your SAT.
Perpendicular and like, yeah, perpendicular.
Perpendicular. Okay, so remember, negative reciprocal on your SAT is perpendicular. Perpendicular has another word in calculus. Do you remember? Normal. Has another word in physics. Do you know? When you mentioned physics, it's already gone. Did you take physics?
I'm taking it now.
Oh. All right. So the third thing you need to know in physics that is perpendicular is called orthogonal. O-R-T-H-A-G-O-N-A-L. Orthogonal. So that's called perpendicular as well. That means dot product is going to give you a 0 because dot product has a cosine. And cosine of pi over 2, which is 90 degrees, cosine of pi over 2 is equal to 0. So dot product is going to be 0. That's called orthogonal. Third thing. So this is the slope of f of x and slope of f inverse of x are reciprocal to each other. That result with this is the relationship between two it's going to be dy dx is equal to 1 over dx dy. Now, if you don't understand that, no big deal. I'm going to give you a better things to think about later, and we're going to talk about it. But just reciprocal to each other. Why? Think about this, right? What is slope of a red line? Slope of a red line is what? 1/2, right? What is slope of a blue line? 2. Do I just flip? Did I just flip? That's the only thing I'm explaining. It's just the flip process. Okay. Now let's talk about the requirement for the inverse function to happen. I should have talked about this earlier. What's the requirement for inverse function to happen? So let's talk about the requirement for function to have inverse. Do you guys remember? Yep.
It has to be. Yeah, continuous.
Oh, really?
Does it have to be continuous? Possibly.
Like it's just 1 over x.
1 over x can have inverse. 1 over x is actually the inverse function is 1 over x. So it's xn function. So it's not continuous. You're thinking about probably some type of things in calculus. But there was a requirement. The first requirement that you need to know, what is it? Anybody can call. Yes.
Pass vertical lenses.
Oh, you were so close.
Horizontal lenses.
Yes. Okay. Pass horizontal line test. Now, what is review SAT? What does pass vertical line test mean?
Speak up.
Right, the function?
Mm,
Maybe pass the vertical lines.
It's a function,
Yes.
right? It's a function if you have, yeah. If you pass a vertical line test, it's a function. If you pass horizontal line test, you can have an inverse. You can have an inverse. So with that being said, it's also known another word that represents this. That word is super important. And that word, you're going to see it on math competition test questions. You might see it on AP exam questions. But there is a word that Shapiro mentioned, or I don't know if he mentioned. Do you know?
That looks like anomalous or horizontal.
What'd you say, Devin? You say something.
Right. That's the question. I didn't say the answer. I was asking if it's synonymous to horizontal line test.
Synonymous. What's that word? That's too big a word for me to understand.
Similar.
Yes. Yes, you're right. Synonymous. I just learned a new word besides cooking.
Oh, you
That's seriously answer cooking? What? Yeah?
You see it's synonymous or synonymous?
Synonymous, bro.
Okay,
Synonymous
I
is
heard
crazy.
one of the synonymous.
Okay, the word is called. Start with the M. Should I play Hangman?
No.
Yeah, that. Yeah. Like actually, yeah. Oh, it's oh, long hours.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wait, can we actually like get all of them?
I'll do it right here. You can
Yeah,
do
do
it.
the heavy. No, he said it started with M though. Hey, how many letters?
9.
Huh?
M.
M, okay.
A. Okay. A.
A.
No.
Oh, put the A, put the head.
You should have put the A on the side.
Yeah, you have to put the A on the side to show the weird.
What? L, no.
Oh my god. We put it on S.
No S.
What about S?
No S.
Oh my god. Stop just randomly. E.
No E.
No E. Oh. So it's gonna be no.
There is O.
Yes.
Okay, double.
Where?
Oh.
Wait, where's the O?
Oh my.
Where's the O?
Stop.
Oh,
And this is one.
the sixth one.
No, there's 3 O's. There's 3 O's.
Wait, what is the sixth one? 1, 2.
This one.
Okay. there an N?
And yeah.
There is an N.
Okay.
Where's the end?
You can use. Oh.
Oh,
The third one?
Oh. Okay. It is. That's what I was thinking. Didn't say it. I don't.
sure, I'll get this thing one second.
Wait, did we say
Oh, yeah, we
T. Throw a T on there.
There's no N.
Yeah.
You?
You.
Oh, there's no S. There's no S.
There's no S, so don't guess.
Rest of it, two more. There's no
One for
E.
you.
Yeah, you need to put one for you.
Already.
Yeah.
This one.
This is really embarrassing, you guys.
We have like 2 legs left.
You only have once. You cover you.
You forgot about you. Yeah, somebody said you. I said no.
Oh, shit.
This side.
Hey,
Huh?
chill.
Fuck I.
Oh, there is an E? Yeah, it's not like that.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
That was really good.
Safe, bro.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Okay, here's a question. What does monotonic mean?
Mono means one guy.
One is a drink.
Yes, one drink.
One line? Wait, does it mean one line?
No. Monotonic is the word is yes, synonymous to horizontal line test. So monotonic is means one direction. It's not a bend, but but direction that means that lead to strictly increasing or decreasing.
Oh my god! Don't give me all that hairstyle shit.
What is going on?
No, but Zayden is unparalleled, bro.
Okay, so strictly increasing and strictly decreasing. That makes that. So you think about it. Y equal to x squared. Can they have inverse function or not?
No.
Why not? It's a parabola. It will not decreasing and increasing. But the question's kind of tricky. Yes, you can have inverse. But you have to have a restriction. Thank you. So if you want to say y equal to x squared, y equal to x squared cannot pass horizontal line test. So you cannot have inverse function. However, if I do a restriction where they just have a strictly decreasing or strictly increasing, then you can have inverse. So for example, if your restriction is from -1 to infinity, that you still fail horizontal line test. It's still not strictly increasing. In order to have a strictly increasing is what? 0 to infinity. So you can have a function that looks like this, and you can have this like this. Okay, so that's strictly increasing because I cut off left side of the graph because not decreasing. So you can, so it's kind of tricky question. It could if you do following things. So if you restrict it, right? If you restrict it, it's going to be like this. Y equal to square root x. They are inverse to each other. Can you give me another graph that I told you that you need to know, or actually two, they're inverse to each other? Not xq.
Is it a reciprocal?
What?
Are you talking about reciprocal?
They are inverse to each other. One of very, very need to know graph. Thank you. E to the x. What is the inverse of e to the x? What? Thank you. So this is the y equal to e to the x. And this is natural log of x. Okay, so, and there was asymptote this way, there was asymptote that way, and there is inverse reflections this way, and kind of makes sense. So you have to know you have to know that this simple one that you need to know. Now, with that being said, monotonic. So it must pass horizontal line test. Yes, monotonic is synonymous to horizontal line test. It means almost the same. But what does that monotonic mean? Is strictly increasing or decreasing. If a function is strictly increasing, decreasing, then you can have an inverse. So this what you learn in pre-calc. Then you say, okay, well, what do I learn in calculus? Remember this, right? This is what you need today. And you need some common sense, which is a lot of you guys don't have.
I gotta argue.
Okay, so but let's practice finding inverse function. So, do you guys know how to find inverse function of this one? Just a little bit algebra review. Oh wow, that's the first time they changed the iPad.
Oh, yeah, I told asking me at the time, and it went up 4 minutes, right?
Yeah, it used to be always 9:54 or 9:51 p.m.
And now it's February 1st, too, and it used to be like January, like something. 18th? Yeah.
They actually updated after like 5 years.
Yeah. Crazy. Like, we don't-
Because that's the first day iPad was introduced. I didn't bother to fix it.
You didn't get it.
Huh?
You didn't get it?
I didn't understand.
Easy.
Yeah. You show me.
Bless you. Dang. What are you throwing shade on it?
Yeah, definitely come on, but you have to come after school. When's a Friday afternoon you have time? Every Friday.
Basically, 1 hour.
Huh?
Basically.
You'll be a good addition on the team.
The answer I got is the option.
Or I'm actually
I didn't look at the option.
But that wasn't the answer.
Well, you get the answer.
No, for real, I just
It's
don't know.
they released
Bro,
the answer.
I really
What?
don't know.
What? I didn't know how to build
I literally don't have an option.
The answer is 10 of it.
Not a bet.
Hand?
No.
What?
Oh, you know I saw that.
I was talking about
Oh my god.
All right, so
I was gonna say, it was slow, but like.
all right, so y is equal to 4x over 7x minus 2. You guys didn't find the inverse?
Is this 7?
Why is that 2?
It doesn't have to go base.
X equal to what? 4y over 7y minus 2. It's just like a pig problem. X times 7y minus 2 is equal to 4y. 7xy minus 2x equal to 4y. 7xy minus 4y equal to 2x. Y is equal to 7x minus 4. And then is y is equal to 2x over 7x minus 4, which is f inverse of function.
Is this like what is happening? This is like what's on the test?
Huh?
This is like what's on the test?
Nope.
Oh.
This is just a review if you know how to do algebra. Huh?
Well, this was on the test.
This is no, this is on the test, but this part's not on the test. To find inverse functions, algebra 2 technique. In pre-calc. Okay, then what is on the test, right? It's like, can you just tell me what the test question is? What you?
No, just do that.
Just give us the test like as homework, and we'll just turn it in, and that'll be our grade.
Honestly, that's so valid. I want to know what we do.
Okay, so here's the test question. I want to find f of inverse of prime of a. And I say a is equal to 2. So f inverse prime of a, okay? And a is 2. So that means just do 10 jumping jack, you'll feel better.
No, I think first you do the inverse. Then h straight, not h straight, h right, and you plug in 2.
Okay, so here's the problem. I'm gonna present a problem. I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna have problem. Shh. You're gonna see a problem. Did you see the problem already? It's possible for you to find the inverse function or no?
It's cute, so no. Because it's not strictly increasing or decreasing.
It's
Wait. Sorry, so that it's strictly.
It is strictly increasing and decreasing.
Oh, it doesn't pass the first.
It is. It is pass.
Oh.
If you don't, you want to see it, the graph.
Oh, it is increasing all the time. It's like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I see. Yeah. The.
yeah.
Yeah.
But why I say there was a problem here?
Slope reaches 0.
What is it? What, minus 2x? Wait, hold on a
Minus
second.
1. Minus 1 then.
Minus one.
What?
Minus 1 and then.
Cube plus
It's
two.
minus 2x.
No,
Oh, it's plus 2x.
Minus one.
So it is strictly increasing, right?
Yeah.
So is it possible for me to find an inverse function? Give it a try. See if you can find inverse.
Yeah,
You should do it.
it's not now.
You should fail first and then. Let's try it. You guys are lazy. Why not?
I'm doing it right now.
It's just because Mr. Yes says he cannot, then you gotta prove me wrong.
Well, maybe if you didn't say it like that, we would have wanted to do it.
I'm surprised.
It's true. It's
Oh no, he didn't.
Now, is it possible? Can I get y by itself? I can factor out y, but right? And then y is equal to x plus 1 over y squared plus 2. Do I really isolate them? There's a slight issue, right? So all this work for nothing. Then, how am I going to solve this problem?
Can you just take the derivative first and then do the inverse? Is that how it works?
What did you say?
If you take the derivative first and then do the inverse.
no, that's valid.
Do inverse?
No. You do the derivative first.
What do you mean by inverse?
Oh my god.
Derivative and then the inverse.
What do you mean by inverse?
Oh my god.
The reciprocal. Huh?
Yeah, it's
Okay, there is the reason why I asked is because there are two different thinking. Inverse is not reciprocal. Yes.
Why can't you take the derivative and then do that formula that you yeah, and just do the reciprocal of it.
Reciprocal. Okay, that would be better. But what value do I plug in?
So
So you're gonna get some type of evaluation, right? You're gonna get some type of slope. But what's the value you gotta plug in?
you can plug in the 2 into the original function, get like the y, and you just switch it, and you use the y as the x. You see what I'm trying to say?
Okay, say that again. No. You might on the track. I just didn't. I lost focus.
You would do the coordinate swap.
Very good. So, Deborah is on the right track. Is you have to do a coordinate swap. First period, everybody suggests that just plug in 2, but the 2 doesn't work. Right? 2 doesn't work. So I show people a illustration. I think this is a very easy to understand. Is this is gonna be the f of x, right? And this is gonna be f inverse of x, right? And obviously, you're gonna have an x and y value of each one. What did he mean by coordinate swap? Is that means I'm looking for f inverse of prime at 2. So that means the x value here is 2. Does that make sense? And here's the question mark, right? But remember the coordinate swap, because if you inverse at x value at 2, that means what? This is at 2. That means this is the question mark. Okay, so if that's a choice, then y is going to be 2. Do you know how to solve this problem?
Yeah.
Minus 2.
I know.
What is it, Deborah?
No, I was just saying 2 plus 1 equals 3.
2 plus 1. Okay, so 2
Oh
plus
my god.
3. Okay, like this? Like 2 plus 1? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't know. Okay, do you know how to solve it?
I'm working on it. Yeah, I contributed to this class, like most of this period, like calling other people.
I didn't call you.
I know, but you once you call me out, say, oh,
I'm just calling somebody who can solve the problem.
no, I'm just gonna say
It's a start.
Dude, y'all like that. Once I get tired of it, just like.
Yeah, the x equals 1 and x equals 3.
Anybody solved it?
Is it x
What'd you get?
I think that's right, actually.
Go ahead, Devin.
Is it 2, x equals 3, x equals 1.
What'd you say?
X equals 3, x equals 1.
No.
Yeah, that's
X equal to 1.
yes. But I need factor. I'm saying
Ah,
Common
common sense.
that is not a.
Common sense. If x equal to 1 is 1 plus 2 equal to 3, Deborah.
Okay. Hey.
I don't know that's fine.
Never percent. You should do that.
Okay, so the reason why is this is a lot of time this is not able to solve. Sometimes you can factor, sometimes you can do other math things that you can solve the equation, but sometimes you cannot solve. Then think about guess check. Guess check is a part of solving technique. Unfortunately, There is no mathematical way to solve it, at least not that I know of. They might, but not that I know of. So sometimes just think about, okay, what x can equal to? That just probably think 1 to the cube is 1, plus 2 is 3. So therefore, that's that. So then, okay, well, x is equal to 1. Common sense, figure out x equal to 1. Then what I'm going to do is, remember, it's a reciprocal. So can I just plug in can I do the derivative of this? It's going to be 3x squared plus 2, right? And what is f prime of 1? That's equal to 5, right? And then f inverse prime of 2 is equal to 1 over 5. Why? Because it's reciprocal of that. Now, some people is going to say, I need a formula. Here's a formula I will give to you. There's 2 ways to do it. On the textbook, they like to give more formal way to do it. They will say g of x is inverse of f of x. And they say the formula is going to be g prime of x, which is the derivative of the inverse, is equal to 1 over f prime of g of x. Now, for me, and a lot of kids that I have prefer this one, which is f inverse a prime of x is equal to 1 over f of f inverse of x. So some people, they prefer this one. In the textbook, they give it this one. It's reciprocal. Got it? So why is this question really hard? Because a lot of people don't understand what is going on. And but you're not going to understand until you actually try it and say, hey, how do I do this? So what I'm going to do is, oops, I ran out of time. No, it's okay.
It's making a quiz for Friday or something.
Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah.
That makes way more sense. We can focus on 2 separate things.
Yeah.
You had to figure out.
That's a homework?
So f inverse prime at 10. I want you to figure out the first question.
Yeah. Could you
That's gonna be, huh? No, take a picture right there. No, they got a few, but
Get it sent to the group.
Are you gonna put this on Canvas? I can put it there too.
okay, I can.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, if you already had problem, I can like do a video just on this question.
Yeah.
You got it wrong?
So, technically, this is. This is the coordinate.
Sure.
Yep.
Keep their attention to each other.
Sorry?
Keep their attention to each other.
Yeah, so they're four. It's they meet at 4. So this is equal to 4. This is equal to 4, and then this is where I messed up. At first I thought the slope would just be 1 because they're tangent. to each
Yeah,
other,
they're not.
But it's not equal to 1.
You don't know.
See, that's where I got. I thought I did know, but then I got confused. But from what I see, like, since they're approaching each other, their tangent at x equals to 4. They're at. They're at
Oh no, the answer is 10. You're right. The reason why, if they're attention to each other, the only time that they will have attention to each other is exactly why you go to act.
Yeah.
So you are wrong, and then you're right, and you are right again. So because they have to meet like this.
Yeah.
That's in order for them to have attention to each other.
Yeah.
Good job.
And I still don't know about this one. I still think it's D.
Which one? No, this is not the right answer. Or whatever here is not the right answer. I don't know who did this one. Who did this one?
No, but I'm talking about this, like 15. I still don't know how to handle it.
Okay, here. If you want to join March 4th competition, you have to print out a bunch of individual tests and walk through it. And you can come anytime after school to work on it. Will's probably going to help you. Will is strong enough to help you. But Will is going to guide you. Will will be here soon.
I mean,
Me too. I'm trying to connect to my
No, I'm retired too.
Yeah, no, this is good.
You should have.
You know, like me, I would like to do it at the same time, you know? Everyone, you know, right?
Oh, yeah, it's Oh.
Where you can believe this?
No. Not anymore, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
But he played too long.
You're not to just solve this problem. Here, is 21 that's the right answer?
That was mine.
Beating staff.
Did you get that one? Or that's the right answer or not?
I know
I think the answer is 10, but I'm not sure. I don't know who did this. But
I have to put my stuff down and then I'll.
where's Will? Yeah. Why am I missing so many kids? Is something going on?
Oh, no, I just skipped it. She was here.
Today is senior skip day?
Infrastructure thing today, so a lot of people are skipping.
I saw Will in the parking lot. I'm not gonna get out.
You know what? I just want to
Oh, let's skip it a round day because we